And let the Lord God be witness against you, the Lord from his holy temple. For behold, the Lord comes forth out of his place, and will come down and tread upon the high places of the earth. And the mountains shall be molten under him, and the valleys shall be cleft as wax before the fire, and as the waters that are poured down a steep place. For the transgression of Jacob is all this, and for the sins of the house of Israel. What is the transgression of Jacob? Is it not Samaria? What are the high places of Judah? Are they not Jerusalem? And therefore I will make Samaria as a heap of the field, and as plantings of a vineyard. And I will pour down the stones thereof into the valley, and I will discover the foundations thereof. And all the graven images thereof shall be beaten to pieces, and all the hires thereof shall be burned with the fire, and all the idols thereof will I lay desolate, for she gathered it of the hire of an harlot, and they shall return to the hire of an harlot. Therefore I will wail and howl, I will go stripped and naked, I will make a wailing like the dragons, and mourning as the owl. For her wound is incurable, for it is come unto Judah, he is come unto the gate of my people, even to Jerusalem. Declare ye it not at Gath, weep ye not at all. In the house of Ephraim, roll thyself in the dust. Pass ye away, thou inhabitant of Saphar. Have thy shame naked. The inhabitant of Zaanan came not forth in the mountain of Bezil. He shall receive you his standing. For the inhabitants of Marah waited carefully for the Lord. But evil came down from the Lord unto the gate of Jerusalem. O thou inhabitant of Lachish, bind the chariot to the swift beast. She is the beginning of sin to the daughters of Zion. The transgression of Israel were found in thee. Therefore shalt thou give the presence of Moresheth Gath. Houses of Ashib shall be a lie to the kings of Israel. Yet I will bring an heir unto thee, O inhabitant of Moresheth. He shall come to Adullam, the glory of Israel. Make thee bald, and pull thee for thy delicate children. Enlarge thy baldness as an eagle, for they are gone into captivity from thee. Woe unto them that devise iniquity, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, and even a man and his heritage. Therefore thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, for which you shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughtily, for this time is evil. In that day shall one take up a parable against you, and lament with a doleful lamentation, and say, we be utterly spoiled. He has changed the portion of my people. How has he removed it from me? Turning away, he has divided our fields. Therefore you shall have none that shall cast a cord by lot in the congregation of the Lord. Prophesy ye not. Say they to them that prophesy, they shall not prophesy to them, that they shall not take shame. O thou that are named the house of Jacob, is the Spirit of the Lord straitened? Are these his doings? Do not my words do good to him that walk uprightly? Prophesy ye not. Say ye to them that prophesy, they shall not prophesy to them, that they shall not take shame. O thou that art named the house of Jacob, is the Spirit of the Lord straitened? Are these his doings? Do not my words do good to him that walk uprightly? Even of late my people is risen up as an enemy. You pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by securely as men returning from war. Even of late my people has risen up as an enemy. You pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by securely as men returning from war. The women of my people have you cast out of their place, pleasant houses. From their children have you taken away my glory forever. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. If a man walking in the spirit and falsehood do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink, he shall even be the prophet of this people. I will surely assemble, O Jacob, all of thee. Even of late my people is risen up as an enemy. You pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by securely, as men returning from war. The women of my people have you cast out from their pleasant places, pleasant houses, and from their children have you taken away my glory forever. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. If a man walking in the spirit and falsehood do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto you of wine and of strong drink, he shall even be the prophet of this people. I will surely assemble, O Jacob, all of thee. I will surely gather the remnant of Israel. I will put them together as the sheep of Bozrah, as the flock in the midst of their fold. They shall make great noise by reason of the multitude of men. The breaker has come up before them. The breaker has come up before them. They've broken up and have passed through the gate, and are gone out by it. And their king shall pass before them, and the Lord on the head of them. And I said, Hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and you princes of the house of Israel. Is it not for you to know judgment? Who hate the good and love the evil, who pluck off their skin from off them, and their flesh from off their bones, who also eat the flesh of my people, and flay their skin from off them, and they break their bones, and chop them in pieces as for the pot, and as flesh within the cauldron. Then shall they cry unto the Lord, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they had behaved themselves ill in their doing. Thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry, Peace. And he that puts not into his mouth, they even prepare war against him. Therefore night shall be unto you, that you shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that you shall not divine. And the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer from God. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin. Hear this, I pray you, you heads of the house of Jacob, and princes of the house of Israel, that hate judgment, and pervert all equity. They build up Zion with blood, and Jerusalem with iniquity. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for a bribe, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, Is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established at the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow onto it. And many nations shall come and say, Come, and let us go up unto the mountain of the Lord, unto the house of the God of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. The law shall go forth out of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he will judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree. None shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. Now gather yourself in troops, O daughter of troops. He has laid siege against us. They shall smite the judge of Israel with the rod upon the cheek. But thou, Bethlehem Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall come forth unto thee that is to be ruler in Israel, whose going forth has been from old, from everlasting. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Before I formed you in the belly, I knew thee. Before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Then said I, Ah, Lord God, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, Say ye not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, that shalt thou speak. But be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Lord. And the Lord put forth his hand, and touched my mouth. And the Lord said unto me, Behold, I put my words in your mouth. See, I have set thee this day over the nations, and over the kingdoms, to root up, to pull down, to destroy, and to throw down, to build, and to plant. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Jeremiah, what seest thou? And I said, I see a rod of an almond tree. Then said the Lord unto me, Thou hast well seen, for I have hastened my word to perform it. And the word of the Lord came unto me the second time, saying, What seest thou? And I said, I see a boiling pot, and the face thereof is toward the north. And the Lord said unto me, Out of the north an evil shall break forth upon all the inhabitants of the land. For lo, I will call all the families of the kingdom of the north, saith the Lord, and they shall come, and they shall set every one his throne at the entering of the gates of Jerusalem, and against the walls thereof round about, and against the cities of Judah. When you shall see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, know that the desolation thereof is nigh. He which be in Judea, flee into the mountains. And I will utter my judgments against them, touching all their wickedness, who have forsaken me, and have burnt incense unto other gods, and worshipped the works of their own hands. Thou therefore gird up thy loins, and arise, and speak unto them all that I command thee. Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them. For behold, I have made thee this day a defenced city, and an iron pillar, and brazen walls against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, against the princes thereof, against the priests thereof, against the people of the land, and they shall fight against you, but they shall not prevail against you, for I am with you, saith the Lord, to deliver you. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, Thus saith the Lord, I remembered thee, the kindness of thy youth, the love of thine espousals, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in the land that was not sown. Israel was holiness unto the Lord, and the firstfruits of his increase. All that devour him shall offend. Evil shall come upon them, saith the Lord. Hear ye the word of the Lord, O house of Jacob, and all the families of the house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me, and have walked after vanity, and are become vain. Neither said they, Where is the Lord, that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, that led us through the wilderness, through a land of deserts and of pits, through a land of drought and of the shadow of death, through a land where no man passed through, and where no man lived. And I brought you into a plentiful country, to eat the fruit thereof, and the goodness thereof. But when you entered, you defiled my land, and made my heritage an abomination. The priests said not, Where is the Lord? And they that handle the law knew me not. The pastors also transgressed against me, and the prophets prophesied by Baal, and walked after things that do not profit. Wherefore I will yet plead with you, saith the Lord, and with your children's children will I plead. For pass over the isles of Chittim and see, and send unto Kedar, and consider diligently, and see if there be such a thing. Has a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which does not profit. Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, saith the Lord. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken the fountain of living waters, and have hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Is Israel a servant? Is he a home-born slave? Why is he spoiled? The young lions roared upon him, and yelled, and they made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitant. Also the children of Noth and of Taphanes have broken the crowns of thy head. Hast thou not procured this unto thyself, and that thou hast forsaken the Lord thy God? Hast thou not procured this unto thyself, and that thou hast forsaken the Lord thy God, when he led thee by the way? And now, what have you to do in the way of Egypt, to drink the waters of Sihor? What hast thou to do in the way of Assyria, to drink the waters of the river? Your own wickedness shall correct you, and your backsliding shall reprove you. Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing and bitter that you have forsaken the Lord thy God, and that my fear is not in you, saith the Lord God of hosts. For of old time I have broken your yoke, and burst your bands, and you said, I will not transgress. When upon every high hill, and under every green tree thou wandered, and played the harlot. Yet had I planted thee, a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? For thou, though thou wast washed with nitre, and take thee much soap, yet thine iniquity is marked before me, saith the Lord God. How canst thou say, I am not polluted, I have not gone after Baalim? See thy way in the valley, know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift dromedary traversing her ways, a wild ass used to the wilderness, that snuffeth up the wilderness, snuffeth up in the wind at her pleasure. In her occasion, who can turn her away? All they that seek her will not weary themselves. In her month they shall find her. Withhold thy foot from being unshod, and shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Withhold thy foot from being unshod, and thy throat from thirst. But thou saidest, there is no hope, no, for I have loved strangers, and after them will I go. As the thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Israel ashamed. They, their kings, their princes, and their priests, and their prophets, saying to a stock, thou art my father, and to a stone, thou hast brought me forth. For they've turned their back unto me, and not their face. But in the time of their trouble they will say, arise and save us. But where are thy gods that thou hast made thee? Let them arise, if they can save thee in the time of trouble. Saying to a stock, thou art my father, and to a stone, thou hast brought me forth. For they've turned their back unto me, and not their face. But in the time of their trouble will they arise and say, save us. But where are your gods that you have made thee? Let them arise, if they can save you in the time of trouble. For according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah. Wherefore will you plead with me? You've all transgressed against me, saith the Lord. In vain have I smitten your children. They have received no correction. Your own sword has devoured your prophets like a destroying lion. O generation, see ye the word of the Lord. Have I been a wilderness unto Israel, a land of darkness? Wherefore say my people, we are God. We will not come to thee any more. Can a maid forget her ornaments, or a bride her attire? Yet my people have forgotten me days without number. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy way. Also in thy skirts is found the blood of the poor innocents, the blood of the souls of the poor innocents. I have not found it by secret search, but upon all beings. Yet thou sayest, because I am innocent, surely his anger is turned from me. Behold, I will plead with thee, because thou sayest, I have not sinned. Why gaddest thou about so much to change thy way? Thou shalt be ashamed of Egypt, as thou wast ashamed of Assyria. Yea, thou shalt go forth from him, and thy hand upon his head. For the Lord has rejected your confidences. You shall not prosper in them. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him and become another man's, shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers. Yet return again unto me, saith the Lord. Lift up thine eyes unto the high places, and see where thou hast not been lying with.
Good morning.
In the ways hast thou sat for them, as the Arabian in the wilderness. Thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness. Therefore the showers have been withholden. There has been no latter rain. Thou hadst a whore's forehead. Thou refused to be ashamed. Wilt thou now, from that time, cry unto me, my Father, thou art the guide of my youth. Thou hadst a whore's forehead. Thou refused to be ashamed. So he carried me away in the spirit in the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colored, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, has become the house of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven, saying, Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God has remembered her iniquity. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers with her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. Therefore the showers have been withholden, there's been no latter rain. Thou hadst a whore's forehead, thou refused to be ashamed. Wilt thou from this time cry unto me, My Father, thou art the guide of my youth? Will he reserve his anger forever? Will he keep it to the end? Behold, you have spoken and done evil things as thou couldest. The Lord said also unto me in the days of Josiah the king, Hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel has done? She's gone up upon every high mountain, and under every green tree, and there has played the harlot. For they are not all Israel which are of Israel, nor because they are children. Therefore the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the God, not the children of God, but the children of promise are counted for the seed. I said after she had done all these things, Turn thou unto me. But she returned not, and her treacherous sister Judah saw it. And I saw, when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I put her away, and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, and went and played the harlot also. And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom, that she defiled the land, and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. And yet for all this her treacherous sister Judah had not turned unto me with her whole heart, but in pretense, saith the Lord. And the Lord said unto me, The backsliding Israel has justified herself more than treacherous Judah. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, Return, thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord, and I will not cause my anger to fall upon you. For I am merciful, saith the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever. Only acknowledge your sin, that you have transgressed against the Lord thy God, and have scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree. And you have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord. Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you. And I will take you one of a city, and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion. And I will give you pastors according to my heart, and they shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And it shall come to pass, when you be multiplied and increased in the land in those days, saith the Lord, they shall no more say, the ark of the covenant of the Lord, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall that be done any more. From that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Lord, and all the nations shall be gathered unto it, to the name of the Lord.